Theresa May.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I welcome this deal and I will be supporting it today. And I welcome the fact that the official opposition will be supporting this deal. But I did listen with some incredulity to what the Leader of the Opposition said. He said he wanted a better deal. He had the opportunity in early 2019, when there was the opportunity of a better deal on the table, and he voted against it. So I will take no lectures from the Leader of the Opposition on this deal. Mr Speaker, central to this deal, the Prime Minister has said, is the tariff-free and quota-free trade arrangements, subject, of course, to rules of origin requirements. It would have been unforgivable for the European Union not to have allowed tariff-free and quota-free access, given that they signed up to that in the political declaration signed with my government in November 2018. One of the reasons for supporting this deal is the security arrangements that have been put in place, which are very important. Access to PNR and PROM are important. There's an issue of the timeliness of access to those, and the other databases like ECRIS. I hope in operational terms, in practice, we will see little change to the ability to investigate as a result of the good relationships that have been built up. But I do say that I think the EU has made a mistake in not allowing us access to SIS2. I understand that was a principle that they set, that we could not have that access, but I think that that is something that we should aim to try to find some resolution of that in the future, because it is an important database. It does help us in our fight against modern slavery, child abduction, and identifying criminals across our borders. One area where I am disappointed in the deal is in services. It is no longer the case that UK service providers will have the automatic right of access to provide services across the EU. They will have to abide by the individual rules of a state. I understand if you're a lawyer advising on UK law, in the Czech Republic you will have to be resident, in Austria you will have not to be resident, just as an example of the difference of those rules. And the key area is financial services. In 2018 in Mansion House I said that we wanted to work to get a financial services deal in the future treaty arrangement, and that would be truly groundbreaking. It would have been, but sadly it has not been achieved. We have a deal in trade which benefits the EU, but not a deal in services which would have benefited the UK. The arrangement treaty is clear that future negotiation on these points is possible, and I hope that the government will go to that negotiation with alacrity and vigour, particularly on financial services. Of course, there is a whole structure set up under this treaty. One thing this treaty does not do is excise the EU from our lives, because there's a whole structure of committees set up, some of which, like the Partnership Council, will be able to amend this arrangement, make determinations on its operation and interpretation, without, as far as I can see, any formal reference to this Parliament. Now, sovereignty has been underpinned the negotiations since Article 50 was triggered. Sovereignty does not mean isolationism. It does not mean we never accept somebody else's rules. It does not mean exceptionalism. And it is important, as we go forward, that we recognise we live in an interconnected world. And if the United Kingdom is going to play the role that I believe it should play, in not just upholding, but encouraging and promoting the rules-based international order, and in ensuring that we promote the interests and value and strengthen multilateral institutions like the World Trade Organization, we must never allow ourselves to think, as I fear some in this House do, that sovereignty means isolationism. But I say to all members across this House, today is the time, as I have said before, to put aside personal and party political interests, which sadly too many have followed in the past. Vote in the national interest for the whole UK and support this bill.
We now